It looks like Katt Williams was onto something when he predicted how Diddy and others would face backlash in 2024. What started as speculation about Diddy alone has taken a wild turn. Now, it seems two other major names are also getting caught up in the chaos. Things are unfolding faster and more dramatically than anyone expected. Jay-Z and Beyoncé are facing serious heat after reportedly being linked to the Diddy lawsuit. Let's be real, many feel this reckoning has been building for a long time. Now, it seems the spotlight is finally on them.
Right explained that Jay-Z is worse than Diddy. She explained how Jay-Z has done worse things than what Diddy did to Cassie to other females. And she said that she has the scars to prove it. She alleged that at one time Jay-Z attacked her and got it on film like Diddy did. And she alleged that this is why Jay-Z is totally pulling away from Diddy and you don't see him around. And it's been alleged for quite a while that Jay-Z is pulling away from Diddy because he doesn't want himself caught in the crossfire. I mean, you even have 50 Cent at this point talking about how Jay-Z is in hiding while this whole Diddy thing blows over. And you even have these accusations of Jay-Z being responsible for what happened to Kathy White. So I'm going to go ahead and roll you guys this clip of everything that Jag had to say about Jay-Z being worse than Diddy, and you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it. You want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. That Cassie shit, that's nothing. I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy. And you're gonna be crazy. It's gonna be the women that give him in the end.
Let's break it down. Diddy's been arrested, and the big question is, how does he get out of this mess? The answer? He strikes a deal with the feds. It's a classic move when the stakes are this high.
Like the tables is turning. If these people have it this their way, he's gonna be spending the rest of his life in the prison system. He better hope that they want to make a deal, but I don't think so, or they want somebody else. He better hope, and he got something to offer them. Even if he got something to offer him, you gotta realize, bruh, like, you got kingpins, you got drug dealers, you got people who make deals, there's murders and killers. They make a deal and they still get 25, 30 years in the feds. He's about 55 years old. If he do 15 years, that's 70 years. When he come out, he's 70 years old. He may not want to live like that. And then what he coming out to at 70 years old? He'll still have probably a little money to do something, but not to do nothing. So that's what he's looking at, bro. What people don't understand is the federal guidelines is so different from the state. You need one person, I said this 1,000 times, for that sex trafficking thing, you need one person. That victim, and then you got the people who is gonna testify that he paid to come across the state lines.
So how did Diddy bring Jay-Z into this? What could he possibly know about him? And how are they connected? According to John Deal, the key might be in the tapes the FBI seized from Diddy's mansions. Those recordings could hold all the answers.
Why haven't anybody came out defending Diddy? All these celebrity friends he have and nobody came out.
They brand. It's all about the money. They saw what he did to Cassie. With the kicking, the punching. They saw what they did to Cassie. They know that nobody in America liked that. So now, these people are represented by a brand. Whether it's something about the music, clothing, movies. They're not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them. And they praying that they not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here. We got you on, hey buddy, we got you on this tape, and the girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, you know, Sean Combs. That's when they're gonna start talking. And they're not gonna be talking in his favor. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on tape, because if he had 250 tapes all over, 250 cameras all over the house, somebody got caught stealing a cookie out the cookie jar. It could be your favorite pastor. It could be your favorite politician. Yeah, I was at a Diddy party, but I know I ain't do nothing. When you don't know somebody's taping you, when you don't know that somebody is videoing you in some kind of form or fashion, you got that alcohol, you got the in you, they're a little loose, bruh. They let down all their inhibitions. The music is pumping. He said it himself. He got it so hot in there that you gotta take your clothes off. He said that himself, bruh. So a lot of them, like what he said? I think a lot of them was being swallowed. Have you ever been swallowed? They tell off on themselves all the time, man. You just gotta listen.
But why do you think Diddy had all them hidden cameras?
Bruh, when you that powerful, you didn't get that powerful without having 1 or 2 or maybe 3 ups on somebody. Diddy always been the type of individual that want to have ups on the next person no matter what they was doing. Like, he always played artists against each other. He did it to Big, he did it to Craig Mack. You understand? I said before, he did the stuff to Ja Rule, you know what I'm saying? So had the ups on Ja Rule so he could go after Jay-Z. You understand what I'm saying?
Jay-Z and Diddy have shared a close connection for years, and now their past is under scrutiny. Photos of Jay-Z, Aaliyah, and Diddy have been circulating on social media following Diddy's recent arrest in New York. DJ academics highlighted these resurfaced images with one particular photo sparking buzz, showing Jay-Z seemingly holding hands with the late Aaliyah. Meanwhile, Dame Dash, who also appears in many of these photos with Aaliyah, has denied any inappropriate behavior and questioned why Jay-Z hasn't addressed the allegations against Diddy. This story gets even more complicated with Jaguar Wright's long-standing claim that Jay-Z was somehow connected to Aaliyah's tragic death, adding another layer of intrigue to the situation.
Jay-Z have both been friends with R. Kelly for years, and Jay-Z continued to make albums with R. Kelly after all the information came out with him and Aaliyah. And I'd say this is because Jay-Z was pretty comfortable with the fact that he knew he also wanted Aaliyah, and honestly, so did Diddy. And Aaliyah's death has never sat right with me. There are so many sketchy things around her death that just don't make sense. The fact that Aaliyah was given a substance and knocked unconscious and then was carried onto this plane that she didn't want to get on because she thought that something was wrong wrong with it that led to her death is just crazy. There's also even more disturbing information about Aaliyah's pilot of that plane, and they said that he had just joined the program 2 days prior before the flight, and he wasn't even supposed to be the pilot on that flight.
Aaliyah was sitting in a taxi as her team and the flight crew argued nearby about whether or not to take off, and she complained of having a headache. Now, reportedly, a baggage handler nearby said that someone from her entourage gave her a pill. She took the pill, and that right after, she fell into a very deep sleep. So deep, in fact, that she was carried onto the airplane still asleep and may not have even been aware that she was on the airplane. Now, we should say we don't know what that pill was. It could have been aspirin. Maybe she was just very tired from a long video shoot, and the baggage handler did say that she took it willingly, but it does reveal some new information about those final moments.
After the crash, investigators determined the small plane was carrying about 700 pounds over its limit, and this is important, the center of gravity was too far back in the aircraft.
The pilot did not want to make this trip, and he reportedly argued with Aaliyah's team because he thought that it was unsafe. So he did make those calculations, and he did decide that it was unsafe. However, after protracted negotiation, they went through with that flight. Now, we did also learn some new things about this pilot. According to autopsy results, he had both alcohol and in his system.
The pilot
did.
Whoa.
He was not the authorized pilot for that plane, and he had just joined that company a few days prior to that flight. So he was very new with that company.
What do you think about Damon Dash selling his Rockefeller piece?
I think he didn't have a choice. And I think the feds want their money any which way they can get it. And I don't think Dame Dash is going to make $1 off of that deal.
I mean, he's given a third of reasonable doubt.
No, you got to understand there should be a lot more than that.
Yeah, it should be.
And guess what? He deserves a much bigger share for that album because he's the one that put up all the cash. You want to know what's funny? Why ain't he claiming what he paid for? Maybe because he can't say how he paid for everything that Dame Dash did for that company. He did to bring his people forward. And while he was bringing it in with a wheelbarrow through the front door, Jay-Z was throwing it out. And by the time he stopped to count up everything he brought in that wheelbarrow, he didn't find out that Jay-Z had already shoveled it all out the back door before he got a chance to sit down.
Will Diddy start snitching?
He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. See, I know you know what happened to Corey. Diddy, I know that. You and Jay-Z down in Vegas at Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy? That might help. That might help a lot. Kathy Coriana White, Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died 24 hours after she announced that she was going public with their relationship and the baby while he was married to Beyoncé. Was it an aneurysm, Diddy? Or are you the one who paid the same coroner that you... Oh, Diddy, you should talk.
Diddy has his own serious problems to worry about. Reports suggest he's extremely anxious about facing a long prison sentence. Adding to his fears is the alleged threat from West Coast gang members, seeking revenge for Tupac Shakur's 1996 murder, which they believe Diddy had a hand in. It's a tense and dangerous situation for the hip-hop mogul.
Say, yo, listen here, man. This guy's life might be danger over here because people think that he has something to do with Pac. People think he has something to do with Biggie, and they right here in Brooklyn. You understand? It's right here in Brooklyn, and some of the people are still mad that he made making it a band, walk to Brooklyn from, to get the cheesecake, and just around the corner from the Cheesecake Factory. So, Juniors. So it might be some dumb shit. So y'all need to get him out of here and ship him to Jersey because somebody gonna kill him over here. Those are good arguments, if you want to call it, but it's bullshit. He gonna get the same treatment no matter how much money he got from them correction officers. Because if they don't and they get caught giving him preferential treatment, they gonna lose their job.
So you feel like Pac fans will try to do something to him?
Pac and Biggie fans. He can have issues with both of them because a lot of people think, because of the statement that Keefe D made, that he did something to Pac. A lot of people know or think that because of Biggie leaving, they finding out that Biggie was leaving Bad Boy, that he may have had something to do with Biggie. People feel that way. You hear it all the time. You see it all the time on the chats and all that stuff.
Have you heard the reports about Diddy being worried about his kids?
Bro, he get a phone call just like everybody else. And now they got all kinds of things where you got guys got iPads, guys got telephones, iPads, and all that in prison. So his kids are well taken care of. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't worrying about those kids before he got locked up. Not like that. Maybe with the baby but the other girls, they seem like they fine. Quincy seemed like he's doing a good job in making sure that those girls are being taken care of. And the rest of everybody else is grown. Or they young adults. So that's just a ploy, bruh. All that's a ploy to, try to change the circumstances in this situation. But they won't change. His circumstances and situation as far as the correctional facility and where he's being housed at is not going to change until the courts tell him to change it. So all these things that the lawyers is putting up, all these things that the lawyers is saying, it ain't gonna do him no good, bro. It's not gonna do him no good until the courts and his lawyers come in with some good briefs and say, yo, listen here, our client should be released because he did this. If it's 3 months from now and Diddy has to go to, he's been in jail and then he has to go for another bail hearing, you better hope that he been in a program while he was in jail, he clean. You understand what I'm saying?
Diddy is currently facing serious charges, including sexual assault and human trafficking, which could result in a life sentence in federal prison. His arrest on September 16th came after a Homeland Security investigation into an alleged criminal enterprise. Authorities claim this operation involved wild parties known as freak-offs, featuring male escorts and female fans who were later victimized. In a lawsuit filed by one of the alleged victims, Diddy has been likened to Jeffrey Epstein. If convicted, insiders warn that he could face significant danger in a federal prison dominated by gang control. While Epstein's official death remains controversial, his family's suspicions have fueled speculation, adding an eerie layer of comparison to Diddy's current predicament.
Brother's death was a mourning his loss, but there seemed to be something to indicate to you, I want a second opinion, to someone to observe the autopsy, right? What was the reason you thought that?
Well, because in speaking with his attorneys, they had a source, and they were sort of surprised that he did it. So we figured let's cover the bases and make sure we have somebody there as well. Because one of the things that's not been out there much is that a few days after death, there was a hearing scheduled to appeal the decision for bail. The first time when he was first arrested, his attorneys asked me if I would participate in his bail. And I said, yes. I said, put up my house in Florida. I knew my brother wasn't a flight risk and he's my brother. I didn't care. And then bail was denied, which is why he was in jail. And then they were going to appeal the decision for bail. And Jeffrey was putting up a pretty big bail. And they asked me for the appeal if I would guarantee his bail. And I agreed, in essence, doubling it. So there was a chance he might have gotten bail. And that hearing was scheduled, I think, for the 12th, in a couple of days. So then I'm thinking, if he was going to kill himself, wouldn't he wait to after the bail hearing? Because if he got bail, he'd be living in his house with an ankle monitor and armed guards and cameras, so he wouldn't disappear anywhere. Not that I thought he would try. And then if bail was denied again, then it would be a more compelling argument for him to kill himself if he wanted to. But a few days before the bail hearing makes no sense at all.
So do you have a theory as to what happened here? Because, there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of conspiracy theories, there's a lot of innuendo. Do you have a theory as to what happened here?
Yes, my theory is that this was a targeted assassination. I believe somebody was planted on that tier as an inmate because the Justice Department regularly plants people in prisons, either for, to put snitches in to get information from prisoners, or to put undercover agents in to build a backstory. So the Justice Department can plant people in the prison. So I believe, and I had been told early in the game that cell doors were left unlocked that night on the tier. I don't know how many or whose, but I've been trying to find out what other prisoners were on the tier that night. There was only 11 or 12 prisoners on that tier. So it's not like we're looking through thousands of people. And I would like to know who they were, when did they get there? Because if somebody was on the tier for 6 months already, he obviously was not a plant. And then after the death, a lot of prisoners were transferred off of that ward. So I'd like to find out who was on that tier, they got there, and where are they now? Do they actually exist?
So I guess the counter argument to that would be is if someone really wanted to kill Jeffrey Epstein, right? They had to assume he was about to talk and give information about some, high profile people. Otherwise, what would be the incentive to kill him? Did you ever get an understanding from your brother that he was going to talk about anything, that he was going to be, be a government witness? I mean, because I'm trying to understand what the motivation would be for him to be murdered in prison.
Well, I believe
Jeffrey Epstein, who died under suspicious circumstances while awaiting trial for trafficking young girls to influential figures, was known for installing spy cameras in his properties. Similarly, sources allege that Diddy equipped his homes with surveillance systems. This has reportedly caused concern among celebrities like Justin Bieber and Kevin Hart, who now fear they might appear in the footage seized during raids on Diddy's properties earlier this year. The implications of these recordings could have far-reaching consequences.
Speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that, but ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exist. You know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is going to speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, can you imagine? He had every room taped and bugged, and they found little bugs or little tape recorders. I mean, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man. all kind of crazy. Bruh. They just wondering who or when they're gonna let this stuff be known. If it's on videotape.
Yeah, man. I know they gotta be shook, man, after finding out he was recording everything.
But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities gonna be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there. Hallelujah. That's crazy.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
Well, my personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statements are true, they got him. They got tapes and stuff.
An interesting detail about Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Diddy is their shared connection to the number 4. Jay-Z's birthday is December 4th, Beyoncé's is September 4th, and Diddy's is November 4th. This link has drawn attention before, especially with Jay-Z's 2017 album *444*, and Diddy hosting a party on July 4th, 2012. Now, some are revisiting these connections in light of claims made by Jaguar Wright, who has long hinted at deeper meanings behind Jay-Z's actions and associations.
D-I-D-D-Y D-E-V-I-L. The devil. He's the devil. And if he ain't the devil, he is the damn short shepherd for him. He wants to be just like him. Let's get Diddy indicted and let's get Jay-Z up next.
Do you believe?
I promise you, whatever the diddler is being looked at for, Sean Carter aided and abetted or was directly involved. It's about to get real tense, and there's a lot of girls and boys who are still trapped inside the machine, working, paying their flesh debts. There's still a lot of them, and they know things that people ain't gonna be comfortable with them knowing. What people really need to be worried about is getting all of the witnesses to come forward before they disappear.
From prison, where he's serving a 28-year sentence for a fatal hit-and-run in 2015, Suge Knight has criticized Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg, and other big names in hip-hop for staying quiet after Diddy's recent arrest. In an interview with Chris Cuomo on News Nation, Knight expressed disappointment that none of the major rappers have spoken out to condemn Diddy's alleged actions.
Plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
You're right. Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing you.
While a few rappers have commented on Diddy's arrest, many have remained silent. 50 Cent, known for his outspoken criticism of Diddy, is even working on a documentary about his alleged crimes. Former Bad Boy artist Shine, who was convicted for a 1999 nightclub shooting that injured 3 people, has also spoken out. He accuses Diddy of ruining his life by refusing to take responsibility for the incident. Shine was sentenced to prison while Diddy was acquitted, a decision the now politician still strongly criticizes.
An 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave. I moved on, but let us not pretend as if I was in Miami for Thanksgiving and Christmas and that
I saw a birthday cake.
I went again to do a charity event for impoverished youth in London. So let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life and who I forgave and who I moved on, and for the better interest of Belize, because he was in a position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest. I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and to bring the contributions to education to Belize, but don't distort it as if, he and I were bombale. This is someone that destroyed my life.
Now, people are starting to speak out against Jay-Z as well. The connections are becoming harder to ignore. In fact, things have gotten so tense that Storm Monroe reported Beyoncé began distancing herself from Jay-Z after the Diddy controversy first exploded online last year. It seems the pressure is mounting on all sides.
If certain things that I can't even speak on come out, she gone. She's gonna protect her image. All right. And I don't know what would be the bigger divorce, Will and Jada or Beyonce and Jay-Z. But just know everybody's gonna be talking about it. TMZ's gonna talk about it first, and we're gonna be talking about it probably for 6 months. Yeah, he knows it's about to be over. Shading the Grammys, shading the industry, and then they left after that. They left. He already knows. So what I'm realizing, and I was saying this to somebody the other day, none of us ever really get away with what we do in life. Like, it comes back one way or another. And Satan is here to collect, Sean. Satan is here to collect. Now, let me tell y'all where he got that damn hair from. Yeah. I mean, y'all should know this, but that was his inspiration for the hair. Jean-Michel Basquiat. That was the inspiration for the hair. Wasn't he by Rossi or Rossi? I think it's Rossi. Rossi, this is the entertainment industry. Pretty much everybody's by.
Looking at Jay-Z's past, it's not hard to understand what's happening now. Rumors about his infidelity began circulating in 2014 after the infamous elevator incident with his sister-in-law, Solange Knowles. While neither Jay-Z nor Beyoncé addressed the cheating rumors head-on at the time, Beyoncé's 2016 album Lemonade seemed to hint at them, leaving fans to piece things together. The tensions in their relationship have always been part of the narrative.